and you should be able to do this entire workout in under 30 minutes. Hi guys, I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I put together a fantastic upper body focused workout that you can do at home, and it's really designed for busy guys, and it's designed to be done in under 30 minutes. So all you need are some dumbbells and a little bit of effort. All right, so if we're doing an upper body only workout, there's still 6 different muscle groups we got to hit. You got your chest, your back, your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, and your abs. So to keep it really quick for all you busy guys, I'm gonna have you do it in a circuit fashion. We're just gonna go from one exercise to the next, okay? And we're only gonna rest about 30 seconds or so in between each exercise. And I'm gonna have you do 3 circuits total. So we're gonna do 10 reps on each set, 6 different exercises, 3 total circuits. All right, straight to the first muscle group and the first exercise, we're gonna be targeting our chest. So I've set up my bench here to have a slight incline, and we're gonna target our chest with some just real straightforward dumbbell chest presses. All right, and guys, when I'm doing this, I'm really focusing on range of motion. So my shoulders still are in really good shape and don't bother me, so I can bring these dumbbells all the way down so that the flanges actually touch my shoulder. Now, if you can't bring them that deep, that's okay. Just go as deep as your body will allow you to. Basically, listen to your body. But stretch and range of motion is really good for building muscle mass. And then the other thing, guys, at the top of the movement, don't bring the dumbbells all the way together like this, because now my bone structure is really holding the weight up there, not my chest. All right, so if we stop here, you can see, or I can feel, that my chest, my pecs, are still engaged. All right, so they're not really getting a rest at the top of the movement. So nice slow tempo. I'm not counting, but I want you guys to knock out 10 to 12 reps. Into this exercise, put the dumbbells down and start getting ready for the next exercise, which is going to be our back. All right, the second muscle group we're going to target is our back. I'm going to leave the bench alone. I like this little incline here. And I'm going to put my chest down on the bench, and then I'm going to grab the dumbbells, and I'm going to do dumbbell rows, okay? Great exercise, because for your back, you got to hit a lot of muscles at one time. I believe there's 17 different muscle groups that make up your back. And this exercise will get a lot of those. A big percentage of those muscles can be hit with just one exercise. All right, so this is kind of hard to start, this exercise, but this is my technique. I'm sure some of you guys might find a better way, but basically you get in a position, your finished position here, that you're gonna be in when you're rowing the dumbbells. And I'm just gonna, basically lean to one side, grab one dumbbell, bring it up, lean to the other side. And now this is my starting position for my dumbbell rows. All right, I see how my chin is at the top of the pad here. And I'm basically gonna focus on bringing my elbows up. I don't really have to worry about lifting the dumbbells. So the mind-muscle connection I want you guys to think about is bringing your elbows back as far as you can. And notice how I'm lowering the weight. I'm not letting these dumbbells just drop back down. So you need to control the weight throughout the full range of motion. So all the way up, control, and all the way down. Nice, slow, steady motion here, guys. And if you don't have heavy enough dumbbells to make this difficult for 10 to 12 reps, then I want you to just bring the dumbbells up to the top and pause and hold it for a 3 count before you let it back down. That will make those dumbbells feel artificially heavier than they really are. Okay guys, you only need about 30 seconds rest in between exercises, and a lot of times that's just taken up with, changing the weight of the dumbbells from exercise to exercise, because, your chest and your back are big muscle groups. You can lift a lot of weight. We're moving on to our biceps. real small isolation movement here, guys, so you can't do nearly as much weight. All right, so remember, this workout is designed to be quick, all right, for you busy guys that don't have time to spend an hour, hour and a half working out. So because of that, I'm gonna have you doing 2-arm dumbbell curls. My favorite way to do these really is alternating, because that way I can really concentrate on each arm as I curl the dumbbell up. But guess what? That literally takes twice as long as doing it two-handed like this. All right, so this is basically the exact same movement. Takes half the time to do 10 reps. All right. And the other thing is, guys, notice how I'm not swinging the weights up and down, controlling it all the way up and all the way down, and I'm not using my back to do the momentum. That's the way all the guys at the gym cheat. And they do that because they pick too heavy of a weight to do with good form. It's just stupid. And then when you do that, of course, it might impress the girls a little bit. No, it really doesn't, because they're not even looking. But what it does is it increases the chances that you might actually pull a muscle or hurt a tendon or something like that. So lighter weight can build just as big a muscle as long as you're doing really good form. All right, we're already to the 4th exercise, and this time we're targeting our triceps. And just like those bicep curls, I'm gonna do these two-handed because it really takes half as long to do a set of 10 reps. All right, so here we go. Skull crushers are great for targeting our triceps. 2 hands at the same time. And I want you guys to notice the starting position, not here. I want you to start here with the dumbbells kind of up above your head. And the reason is, when I'm up here, I already have some tension on my triceps, okay? And I'm gonna bring them down until the flanges touch my shoulder and then back up. Not to here, because here my bone structure is basically holding these weights up, and there's very little stress or tension on my triceps. So I'm gonna stop right here with a slight bend in my elbows, and then down and up. And guys, you know, you really don't need a lot of weight on this exercise. Just experiment, you know. After a couple of sets, you'll know, you know, how much weight you're gonna be doing with skull crushers and bicep curls. And this exercise is another one where form really is important. When you're doing your chest press and things like that, a lot of times the form just kind of takes care of itself as long as you do full range of motion. But this isolation movement is really hard. I'm trying to keep my elbows in one place. Guys, when I'm doing it like this, man, ooh, I can feel a burn big time. All right, so enough of that. I only need about 30 seconds because I'm moving on to a completely different muscle group. And that also, guys, I want to mention, that's why we don't need a lot of rest when we go from one exercise to the next. It's because we're targeting a completely different muscle group with each exercise. That's why you don't need a lot of rest. If I was gonna do 3 sets of each exercise before moving to the next one, you would need a minute in between sets because you're hitting the same muscle group 3 times in a row. All right, that's not happening here when we're doing it circuit style. And I picked circuit style specifically to make the workout go quicker for you busy guys. All right, so the 5th exercise today is gonna target our shoulders. All right, and this is just a seated overhead military press. It's real straightforward, and kind of like the last 2 exercises, you're not gonna be able to do a lot of weight, all right, but you need to focus on the form really, really closely. So, man, I can do full range of motion. Full range of motion for me means bringing the dumbbells down so that the flanges touch my shoulders. And instead of looking straight ahead, I gotta kind of look up here. It makes it easier for me to balance. It's much more comfortable with my neck and spine than if I'm looking straight ahead like this. That puts a lot of strain on my neck. This is just a much more natural position here, guys. Now, I'm gonna give you a workaround if you can't do this exercise because you have bad shoulders, all right, because a lot of guys, for one reason or another, just cannot press anything above their head like this. All right, so for you guys, instead of doing this, try this exercise. I'm gonna give you two other options, actually. One option is a bent over rear delt flies, and this targets the rear head of your shoulders. Now your shoulders, your delts, are made up of three muscle groups, and it's basically the front, lateral, and rear. And this targets the rear head of your shoulders. And for you guys that can't push weight up over your head, you're probably gonna be able to do that one no problem. Now, this is alternative number two for you guys, and that is lateral raises. We're just gonna be basically lifting our elbows up, and the dumbbells will just follow along. And notice how I have a bend in my arms throughout the full range of motion here. This is great exercise that I do in every single shoulder focused workout, guys, because it really targets the lateral head of your delts. All right, so we're almost done with our first circuit. We're on to our sixth and last exercise, and this is gonna target our abs, or in this case, pretty much our entire core. This is a mountain climber, but I'm gonna do it with a twist, all right? So let me show you how I'll do this exercise. And guys, it's real straightforward. You just basically get in a traditional push-up position, all right? And you're gonna bring a knee up to the offside arm. And you can do it nice and slow like this, all right? Or you can speed it up. Kind of experiment and play with which way you like better. I think nice and slow like this really targets your abs better. And when you do it fast, I think it turns it more into a cardio exercise. So I think this kind of slow and steady, where you bring your knee up and hold it for a split second, will put a lot more tension on your abs, and you're gonna feel it throughout the entire core. And that means your lower back included. Okay, so there you go. That's 6 exercises with very little rest in between. It's okay if if it takes you up to a minute. A lot of the rest is gonna come just naturally from the transition it takes to go from one exercise to the other. You may be changing the amount of weight you use. You may be moving the bench around, doesn't matter. But each circuit should only take you about 6 or 7 minutes, all right? And if at the end of those 6 exercises you're out of breath, take a little longer before you start the next circuit. But you still gotta do 3 circuits in total. If you only do 2, that's okay, especially if you're in a rush. But I really think you need to get at least 3 sets on each muscle group, and you should be able to do this entire workout in under 30 minutes. And then finally, guys, as I always say, you gotta stick with it and never give up on yourself.